Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on May 26th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, as usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. Oops. Okay, so in terms of the news that's coming up, we just saw the trade balance numbers here for New Zealand, and it's actually up. It's better than expected. And then coming up here, we have CPI numbers here for Japan. They're expected to be at 0. But we'll see if the number is negative here, we may see a negative impact on Japanese yen. Tomorrow, though, it's not too busy. Now, we do have trade balance numbers here for Switzerland. We have consumer climate numbers. So this number here, the number that came in today here, IFO business climate numbers are came in higher than expected. And if we see the consumer climate numbers better than expected, better than this number here, that would be positive for the euro. We also have ECB financial stability review here. So we'll see what comes out of it, if there are any comments, but pretty much everything has been said and done for now. So only thing that can really move this is any kind of surprises to the downside here. And then we have consumer confidence numbers for the US. They're supposed to get better slightly. And all of these numbers are getting better right now because of the expectations of the different economies opening up. So that's still the driving force in the markets right now. And we have new home sales numbers here as well. And then we have a few central bankers here. We have Bank of Canada, FOMC, Reserve Bank of New Zealand. So Reserve Bank of New Zealand here, right now, I wouldn't expect too many changes in terms of the policy that they have. Now, everybody's saying that they all need to have more, provide more support. So we'll see if that's what they're saying, then that's not going to have much of an impact. But anything to do with negative interest rates, even though Reserve Bank of New Zealand said that they're not going to do negative interest rates at this point, but should they change, that will be negative for New Zealand. But other than that, I would not expect much of a change here because of this. And let's move on to our charts here. So overall, the only other thing I will mention here is growing concerns with China. So it seems like China is having problems with many different countries right now. So I guess with the COVID, a lot of fingers are being pointed at China. So today we saw that US and China, the trade, or I should say, things are escalating because of the changes that US is making in terms of delisting companies in the stock exchanges. Also, they're making it harder for Chinese companies to list in the US. We have also seen that US and Australia, sorry, not US and Australia, China and Australia trade tensions are increasing. And then today I just read an article saying that US is going to, US is also having problems with India on the border. And there have been, both the countries have, of course, armies posted there, but apparently there have been issues, skirmishes, and as a result of that, or I should say skirmishes, sorry. And as a result of that, China is going to evacuate their any of the Chinese citizens out of India. So looks like, all in all, a lot of geopolitical tensions going on. And right now, the stock market is completely ignoring everything because there is a lot of a positive optimism in regards to opening up of the economies. But if we see that these little rumblings in the background, if they take center stage, we are likely to see a risk-off environment coming into the market. Right now, we are not there yet, but I would just keep an eye on developments. All right, so, and of course we had talked about, what do you call it, the Hong Kong protest. That's another thing we have seen going on right now. Okay, so we'll start off with euro dollar here. Today's moves are pretty much all range bounds, nothing much to talk about in terms of this will not be, today's moves do not decide the trend. So right now we just need to take an overall view of the market here. So today for euro dollar, not much of a move, very neutral here, but overall bias here is to the downside. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind is today's low here at 1.0870 was into support. So we may be getting we may see a pullback here. So right now, because of this previous candle close here to the downside, bias still remains to the downside. Now I would watch out for a pullback. So we could get a pullback into 109.30-ish area before it drops to, so bias is neutral to bearish. So I will watch out for a pullback, and then I will look for a drop. So we do see that price rejected the high, and now we are kind of into this move here. So that's what I would, so we saw this move higher, similar to this. Now I'm looking for this move lower. So basically looking for price to drop further here. So bias here is neutral to bearish for euro dollar. In terms of targets here, the first target, let me just change. Let's see if we can find something that will actually show. So the first target here to the downside will be 1.0870, and then second target here, let me use a different color. Some people have said that they are not able to see the lines on my charts here. Okay, so first target is 108.70, and then second target is 107 or 108, which is the base here of this candle here. So bias is neutral to bearish for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, not much of a move here today either. Overall, we see that bias is to the downside, but as we can see, price came into the support here, and because of that, we may see a bounce back up. So in this case, I would watch out for a pullback towards 1.2220, and if price remains below that level, I would look for a further drop here. So the first target here is 1.2080, and then below that, we're looking at 1.200. So bias is bearish here for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar here, not much of a move. The previous move was to the downside here. So with this one here as well, I will look for a bit of a pullback. And if price holds below 0.6570, then we're likely to see a drop here. We may see this head and shoulders type of situation. But again, this is not written in stone. A lot of this will be guided by what's going on with the stock market. So if the stock market starts to factor in all these geopolitical issues, then we're likely to see dollar crosses drop. But if, let's say, the stock market ignores all these issues that are going on around the world right now, especially with China, then we are likely to see a continuation to the upside. And when that risk on mode, which means stocks are going up, we're likely to see US dollar crosses go up as well. So we just have to be careful here. So for now though, I am looking for a drop. So bias is bearish. In terms of our targets here, the first target is 0.6470, and then second target here, second target would be 0.6400. So 6470, 6400 as the second target for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one as well, bias is to the downside. We see that price has rejected the high 3 times here. We did have a bit of a drop here, but then price pulled back a bit. So I am expecting something like this. Now, If for some reason stock market starts to take off, then we're likely to see a retest of the high again. So watch out for that. But for now, my bias is to the downside. And in terms of a pullback, I would look at 0.6120 as a potential level of pullback. And then I'm looking for a drop. In terms of the target here, first target would be 0.6030, and then below that we are looking at 0.5980. So 60.30 and then 59.80 is the second target. So bias here is bearish for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, we did see dollar CAD drop, so we do have a bit of a bearish candle close here. In this case, overall move is still to the upside, so I'm neutral on this. What I'm looking at here is we do see price came into support and then bounced off of that. Now, oil has done okay, and that's why Canadian dollar has been getting better or strengthening. So in this case, I would look for a drop here into 1.3940, and if price holds above that level, then we're likely to see price move back up. However, on the other hand, if it goes through this level, then I'm looking for a retest of the low at 1.3865. So right now, bias is neutral for dollar CAD. My God, everything is neutral, and silver is neutral here as well. As we can see here, price has just been stuck in this range for the last little while. And again, we need to see how the stock market reacts here. If all the geopolitical concerns come to the forefront, then we are likely to see the stock market drop. And then with that, we could see silver drop as well. So we'll just have to wait and watch. Right now, this is looking neutral here. Gold here, gold is looking slightly bearish. I will look for it to drop into 1715 level, and only if it goes through this support level am I looking for price to move lower. Otherwise, we could see price come into the support here, 1715, and then go back up. So bias is neutral right now. Oil here, oil is looking slightly bullish here. We did see a positive move here in oil, but for it to continue higher, we'll have to see a break of 34.70. So for now, slightly bullish. Next target is 34.70, but only if it goes through. Am I looking for the next target of 36.50? So slightly bullish here for now. Copper here, copper's moved up a bit. We could see it go up further, potentially into 2.40, and then we could see it drop. So it may drop kind of like that. So I would look for it to go and retest 2.40. And if it's not able to go through, then come back down again. So bias is again neutral, just looking for it to go up and then another drop there. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin, we did see a drop and then price has pulled back up here. We could see price do another retest of this 85.85 level, so watch out for that. But as long as it holds above that level, I would look for a move up, so either into that level or we may see a drop all the way down and then go back up. But as we can see here for this here, price has been trading in a range here as well. So another range bound move. So it looks like market is just waiting for something to happen. So neutral bias for Bitcoin as well. S&P 500, today we did see the market go up and it has finally broken through this support level though. But as we can see, prices into resistance here. So if it holds below 3,000, I am looking for a move back down. And in that case, we're looking at 2,900. So we'll have to wait and see. For now, bias is neutral for S&P 500. Same thing with DAX as well. We see that price has broken through the high here, but Same thing applies here. We'll have to wait for liquidity to come back into the market. So tonight, tomorrow in the London session, that should come back. So right now it is neutral. Now, if price holds above 9,500, then I would look for a further move higher. For now, though, we could see a decline here. So for now, neutral bias for Nasdaq as well. Next target is 2650 if it holds above 9,500. Dow Jones here, we see that price is into resistance here. This is where we are. And I will look for a move back down towards the bottom of the range because price is into resistance. If for some reason it breaks through the resistance though, then we could see it go higher into 25,235 or then 25,730. So this one is neutral as well because we are into strong resistance. But if it manages to go through that, there is definitely more room on the upside there. DAX here has broken through the resistance here. So this one's actually looking bullish. Next target is 11,550. And should it go through that, 11,770. So bullish bias here for DAX. FTSE here, this one also closed in the bullish. We could see price go all the way up into 6120. But overall, this one has been trading in a range, so bias is neutral for FTSE. Nikkei here, Nikkei still pushing higher here. We did see that price broke through the resistance level, and it's still maintaining that upwards trend for now. So bullish bias here, next target is 21,300. So bias here is bullish for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. Have a wonderful trading day tomorrow. We just need to wait a little bit here for things to realign before we start going at the market again. So I think things should pick up in the Asian session today, and then once everybody's back in London today, we could see some trending moves. But until then, it's a wait and watch type of scenario here. So have a wonderful trading day. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Thanks, Raman. Have a good night.
Yeah, bye.